Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is another episode of Impractical but Fun, and this time we're going to be checking out rank 2 5-star Annihilus taking on Realm of Legends Wolverine. So obviously the base idea here is fairly simple. Annihilus places a lot of armor breaks and stifles on opponent. These are debuffs, therefore it interacts with your Despair Mastery, and we just need to be aggressive and make sure we keep on as many debuffs on Wolverine as we possibly can. Now, a few things to note is that Annihilus is able to place stifles on opponent even while striking their block, therefore that is in fact relevant. Also, while we're keeping opponent in the corner, we are able to get Fury buff on us, which is awesome. Level 2 we can convert stifles into furies, which also can increase our damage output. However, level 2 did not work out really well for me, and also I'm running suicides, therefore recall was taking its toll. And yeah, so that wasn't the best kind of idea, and at least it wasn't working out the best for me, just because quite often after level 2s or before them I did not keep enough debuffs on Wolverine to kind of mitigate that regen. And later on we're going to pretty much switch to level 3s, just because level 3 plays 10 stifles. It obviously also pauses duration of all the active debuffs while the animation is happening, therefore it worked out much better for me kind of. And yeah, so for most of the fight I think I'm going to be spamming level 3s or avoiding special attacks altogether, just because the key aspect in this fight is to remain aggressive. Also, Annihilus is scheduled for some sort of balance update that will increase his offensive potential. However, this is before that update has taken place, so this is Annihilus as he came into the contest. Also, it's worth noting my signature ability is only at Sig 20 currently, so we don't have high signature level on this Annihilus whatsoever, and obviously the fact that he's at rank 2 5-star, so we didn't even take him to rank 3 in order to try this. As you can see here, slowly but surely we have gotten that Wolverine down to 89%, so it is working. It will take some time, however, but so long as we can see that he does not have any regen going through all of those debuffs, I know that we can get this done. It is also slightly RNG based, because you have a chance to place armor break and chance to place stifle, so if you get bad RNG, you might kind of be thrown back in the fight for quite a bit, just because if you lose your debuffs even for a slightest amount of time, Wolverine is capable of regening back insanely quickly. I have sped up majority of this fight a tiny bit, just because the fight did turn out to be a fairly long one, but over the time we can definitely see what kind of progress we are making. So currently Wolverine is at 79%, we have plenty of debuffs on him, about nothing to worry about, and we are also running Nick Fury and Quake synergy, which is worth mentioning. That is going to save me a couple of times when I get a bit sloppy, so that definitely did help in this fight to kind of maintain my health and not slip up, because that synergy is extremely useful for fights when you want to be aggressive. Maybe you're paying a bit less attention to yourself, you just want to find an openings, you want to start hitting opponents as quickly as possible. And now we saw that we didn't have like any debuffs on Wolverine for a bit, so he did in fact regenerate quite a bit of health. Nonetheless, we're still at 70%. It's nothing too kind of critical. However, we're unable to place enough debuffs to completely stop that regen for quite a bit. So that was a small hiccup there, kind of a bit of a bad RNG. Maybe I wasn't aggressive enough either, but here we're gonna go for level 3, and level 3 is what helps us with 10 more additional stifles. So whenever we shoot off a level 3, I at least can be sure that he cannot regenerate absolutely anything until they expire, so that is working out quite well for us. Now we are 320 hits in the fight. Wolverine's at 65%, so we can see that the strategy is working. We are able to keep enough debuffs for most part to dish out damage, at least more so than he can regenerate whenever the debuffs drop. Therefore, we just need to remain aggressive and carry on in the same pace as we have been, and he's going down slowly but surely. Here we are also going for another level 3 to place those additional stifles, and we're going to be doing that a fair amount in the mid-section of the fight. Now for the last final 20% or so, I'm going to be avoiding any specials at all, just because I'm going to be trying to see if I can maintain the debuffs without using specials. Also, another reason why I didn't want to spam too many level 2s is I was watching my health bar, I was watching Wolverine's health bar, and if I kept spamming on level 2s, Recall would kill me before I can kill Wolverine for sure. Therefore, we switched over to level 3 special attacks. But here we can see that 400 hits in, and Wolverine is at 50%. So we are halfway there. Hopefully we can finish out this fight quicker than the initial bit was, especially because now that we are dipping below 50%, we get extra 10% attack from our Courage Mastery, which I run at 1. So yeah, we have just started hitting slightly harder. Also, when we're going to push him below 18%, obviously we're going to get an additional 20% attack from Assassin's Mastery, which is helpful. I only run 1 point in Assassins typically, but it's still worthwhile kind of help in the fight, and you can definitely see the difference. So now, once again, another special 3 is at 42%, and we can see that slowly but surely we are chipping away this Wolverine, and he is in fact going down. Now, if your Annihilus would be higher rank or level or star rating, obviously the fight would be a lot shorter, because in this fight we are not focusing on any kind of heal reversals, so we are relying on Annihilus's actual damage to deal with this Wolverine. And as we all know, Annihilus really isn't known for being the hardest hitter. Even with all those armor breaks on opponent, those armor breaks aren't really kind of the most potent ones, therefore our damage increase is not all that noticeable. So like we have 5 armor breaks on opponent when we're still critting for like a K, which isn't a horrible damage output by any means. There are many characters who hit a lot weaker, but you'd think with 8-9 armor breaks you'd be able to deal more damage than that. However, unfortunately, yeah, it is what it is. So hopefully the balance changes that are coming for Annihilus will actually kind of increase the potency of his armor breaks, possibly, and then you could theoretically be able to deal out a lot more damage. So I think the fix there would be increase the duration of armor breaks and maybe furies and potency of them, and if that would be the case, I think he could actually become a really hard hitter so long as you can remain aggressive in the fight. And with Annihilus that could also be realistically possible, just because Stifles also kind of lowers enemy power gain, so you are able to kind of get in more combos before opponent reaches their 3rd bar of power, and you are forced to kind of like bait out special attacks or stuff like that. Therefore, I think that he doesn't really need all that much. He just needs much higher potency on armor breaks and furies, and he could actually be a solid damage dealing champion as well. But that being said, 577 hits, Wolverine's at 24%, and we have plenty of debuffs on him currently to absolutely negate that regen. As you can see, he can't regen for absolutely anything, which is perfect for us. And 21%, so we're closing in that Assassin's range. We do not have any away charges left from Quake Mastery, so we have to be careful not to get clipped, because we're only at 41%, and with like 1 combo, if he crits, he could definitely finish me off. So we did drop our debuff there for a bit, and he regen back a whole bunch of health, so now he's at 26%, but finally we got things back under control. We have enough debuffs to deal with him, and we just need to kind of chip away at him. So yeah, it is still like RNG based, and it's also based on how aggressive can you be, whether he cooperates with you, how he holds his block, whether he throws his special attacks. All of that like really matters in this kind of fight, because it is like essentially a race. You are racing to place on as many debuffs on him as possible. So in order to do that, you need to strike him as quickly and as aggressively as possible, and you kind of need the AI to work with you. You don't want him to be like kind of holding block, dashing back, not doing anything. You want at the very least him trying to be throwing punches at you so you can parry him, or throwing special attacks, and so on and so forth. You definitely do not want this AI to go passive, because as soon as he goes passive, you are likely to lose majority of your debuffs, because you can't just blindly run in and get intercepted by special attack. So yeah, you need to be careful. However, now we are in the last kind of like bit. He is at 8%, so we're closing in on there. I am going to be finishing this fight with a level 3 attack, just because that's what big boys do. And so there we go. He has 3 regions, but no actual regeneration comes through. That's perfect. He's at 4%. Only a couple more combos to finish this out. And yeah, we are going to have taken Wolverine down with a rank 2 5-star Annihilus, because once again there are definitely many more easier ways to get this done, but it's nice to know that Annihilus can actually make it happen. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, do not forget to hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the good buttons, stay away from the bad ones, and I am going to see you guys soon. Laters.